What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? Tis I, James, RedOptionAgency.com, 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And it is Monday morning. And it feels like Monday morning. Whew. I am feeling like a truck hit me. Boo, 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 boo. Mainly because Saturday night. So I've been training Pee-wee to stay in the yard. And Saturday night, I gave him a little bit too much leeway. I started walking to the door, calling him to come in. He starts walking the edge of the property into the street. And he sees before I see 4 deer. He sees the deer, start walking toward him like, Pee-wee, get back here. He don't listen. The deer take off running. He takes off running. I'm like, no. I take off running full sprint. Slowly catching up with him, but not catching up with him. Thankfully, he started going into the deer went off into the woods. Thankfully, he didn't go after him. He kind of just kept on house properties on the street. So he started going into the backyard of the neighbors. So I'm like, by this time, I'm literally wheezing because I'm full sprint. And I'm hearing myself wheezing. I'm like, wow, I'm really out of shape. Cuts through the neighbor's yard, cuts across the street, goes into more neighbors' backyards. And I'm thinking, okay, he's going this way. The streets here, he's one house away from the streets, the major streets. And I'm like, please, so I went in front of the houses in order to come over and try to cut him off. So if he goes toward the street, I can get him before he hits the street. Thankfully, he went left into more neighbors' backyards. So it leads to a dead end, kind of a fenced like L shape. So he put himself down in there. So I was able to get him, but not after tearing myself up, running full blast with my back and wheezing like crazy. Oh man, as I'm yelling at the same time, Pee-wee, come here, do you want a treat? Trying everything to get him back, and it's not working. So front yards are off. I'm not going through that anymore. So we're turning off front yards. I'll let Courtney out with me. I'll sneak her out. But he lost that privilege of the front yard. So at least for now, until he gets out of his puppy phase, if that's a possibility. Oh, so I am still feeling beat up from that. My back is killing me. But that's all right. I'm alive. And I didn't lose Pee-wee, so that's a good thing. So, all right, how did the weekend go otherwise? Well, it looks like we took a step backwards from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So Wednesday was 884, Thursday was 811, Friday was 873, and then Friday night, huge shutdown overnight again. Well, this one went pretty long. I don't remember the exact times now, but only did $595 Saturday. So took a big step backwards. Saturday night, another shutdown, but I can't remember how long. $652 on Sunday. And then last night, the shutdown back to exact minutes. So from 11:31 to 5:31. So 6 hours exactly. Nothing. So we're back on that 1 minute exact point again. Offers still totally jacked up. I'm going long time periods with no offers coming through. between 10-20. So in the last 10 hours, I've had 2 offers. So as of right now, we're at 8:36 a.m. I'm at $83 to get the Monday started. So only 38 items sold yesterday, 40 the day before, 48 the day before that, and before that was 80, 51, and 31. So it's still hit and miss on getting that volume up. So I'm sorry for yawning so much. I am just beat. 5 sold this morning so far. So my mind's not processing properly. So I'm sure I'll stumble over words and say the wrong things again. Let's see. How are we headed for the month? My impressions are down 6%. For the last 30 days, I haven't changed nothing with promotions or impressions. No. But my impressions are down 8%, and it looks like they're coming from promoted impressions. Well, maybe not. Maybe they're coming from non-search impressions. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. Non-search impressions are just a waste. And they usually sit at 85%. Well, they are at 85%. Down 7.5%. My top 20 search impressions are up 10. The rest of search impressions are up 4. Then non-search is down 7. So that's definitely one I definitely would like to get down, because I'd rather have search impressions in places where people would actually buy the product. My organic impressions is up 12%. And my promoted impressions are down 12%. And this is with no change, right? No, I've been keeping the same promoted. So something is switching there in the last 31 days. For some reason or another. Not that it's a bad thing. Just what does it mean? Exactly. But I'm too tired to think. I always keep forgetting to put all listings on down here. So the month so far, how many days we got left? 2 or 3? 1. So 2. Today and tomorrow. It's the last days of the month. Right now we're sitting at $19,948, up 9%. With the cost of goods at 46%. But my net sales are down 0.9%. And is that because lower dollar items? Maybe so. Probably so. Because it's taken my 46 selling costs, instead of being at 41, 42, it's at 46 with getting into those back into the lower dollar items. So that's why the net sales would be down a little. Quantity sold 1,214 items, up 19%. So going in the right direction there. 1,200 items sold with what, 300 feedback, positive feedback, 400 positive feedback. So still about 30%. So 30% of happy customers leave feedback. And average price per item, $16.43, down 8.6%. Questions and comments. First up, yo, stop showing people my life in your car. Everywhere we go, I'm looking for something that can cover cost of what I'm buying. Yeah, that's the way I am too. Always been that way. Next up, being from Texas, I cannot say it without saying, Texas, Texas, Texas. I'm blind in Texas. Dude needs a life. That short got crazy. Where did it end up? With the whole need a life thing, I probably agree with you there. I do need a life. Where'd that short end up at? 11,000 views. That's my biggest short so far. Just showing what was in my car. Killing the sneeze, sorry. Okay. Dude needs a life. I don't know. I got a life. I got a great reseller life. Next up. Today a friend sent me an eBay reseller video. It seemed odd, so I reviewed her site and found links to her personal pages, Instagram and Amazon, no eBay links. So is this a person to listen to? You don't know. You're a cool cat, broski. I haven't heard that word in forever. Ask them to comment. Ha ha ha. Please like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you are not. Turn on that notification bell. I don't even like saying that. Creating 200 items in a day. Video still going. Wow, great tips. Just started. Should I separate my buy and sell accounts? I wouldn't separate your buy and sell accounts necessarily. If you're talking eBay accounts, if you buy for business, then you buy those under your sell account. If you buy for personal, then yeah, I would have 2 different accounts or 2 different credit cards hooked up. So you could if you buy something personal, you charge it to your personal credit card. And if you buy something for business, charge it to your business or bank account or whatever you would do. Should I open a new checking account and credit card for this new business? Should I get a P.O. box address or use my home? Any other suggestions? Great video. I've always used my home address. I've never gotten a P.O. box. A lot of people are paranoid about, home address. So depending on what you feel there, I've never had any problems. So, should you open a new checking and credit card? If you don't have a credit card empty, then I would get a separate credit card. Like I said before, it's going to be hard to get a business loan, so you're probably going to start off personal, but keep it separate. As for business accounts, if you plan on doing this as a business, go ahead and get yourself set up as a business, and then open a checking account under the business name. And then try to get a credit card under the business name. That's the best way to go. But if that don't work, then just have one single credit card you use for business only and nothing else. How do you have no cost of goods? I'm a fairly new subscriber and I'm learning a lot from you. Thank you for your content. Because I've got 20 years of product that I've bought over the years, and as of right now, the business has no debt. So that stuff's technically paid for. So when I sell it, there's really no cost to it because it's been paid for. American Arbitrage is definitely one of those reselling YouTubers that I cannot stand. And then I know makes more from doing content than he does from reselling. I don't even know who he is. So I'm not sure who American Arbitrage is, so I've never seen it. eBay is a scam. Most these online resellers just treat you like a slave. Okay. This was kind of entertaining. Why would eBay shut down anybody from selling their products? That would go against their own interest and pockets. It doesn't make sense. So I put watch and learn. Here comes P to the we now. What up, yo? Then they came back with Tech and Sports was saying the same thing in one of his videos. He said, in your listing, look at your prices, pictures, keywords, and descriptions. All the products could just be something nobody wants. eBay is opening to make money. This is coming from Tech and Sport Education. So I put, don't just rely on one information source. Trying to be nice. I have nothing against Tech, but he's a salesman, right? His focus is making money, and mostly making money on his classes, his education, Tech and Sports Education. So he's going to be very precise and one-sided, and he's not going to give you any, what's a good way to put this? This ain't bashing anyway. He's only going, it's like a used car salesman. He's going to sell you on everything good, but he may know of this and that may not be such a positive thing, or something's going on behind the scenes. He notices it, but that's not going to be part of what he's selling you. Just like a used car. If somebody's trying to sell you a used car, they're only going to tell you all the good things about it. They're not going to tell you that it was smashed in the rear in 1989 and it runs crooked. So that's why when I say don't just rely on one information source, there is a purpose to what he says and why he says it. Not that any of it's not true. It's just that it's not the whole picture. He's selling what works to sell. Coming up with those things ain't going to sell the car. So you got to just focus on what. Do I agree with it? No, because that's not my style. Do I have anything against it? The process, yes. The person, hey, he's just making money, just trying to get through life. Is it kind of taking advantage of people? Not really. You're trying to keep them focused on what's going to make them money. Trying to keep them focused on motivation and moving forward. And it's just a different style. Not my style. I'll be open and honest about every single thing because, you know what, I'm not trying to sell a course. From what I understand, if I heard him right on one of his videos or whatever, he's got 2,000 people in his course that costs $30 a month. That's $1 a day for 2,000 people. So he's making $2,000 a day just on his course alone. So when you have something like that that's generating that kind of money, you protect it. You ain't going to let out any, you're not going to let any outside negative, even if it is eBay related, into that vision, into that sell the car, no matter what type of feel, you know. So that's why I said don't just rely on one information source for the full view of everything. I unknow is wild. Love your streams and what you do. I'm learning a lot from you. Cringe agreed. I have been a reseller for years. I love it as well, but now I work a full-time job and do reselling. Not easy like it used to be when I only had one job. So another person who's had to go back to work because the reselling got jeopardized by eBay. How about that? That's a nice way of putting it. What it was with cringe when they saw me open the thing. I don't know if that was a comedy thing or what, but another one said cringe. Bro, how is it cringe? They just make videos as entertaining as possible. What's going on, Major Win? If you haven't checked out Major Win's channel yet, check that out at Major_Win, W-I-N. Laughed at that short. Next comment was at a Value Village in Canada yesterday, and they wanted $8 Canadian for every hat. So that's like $6 American. Who can make any money on those prices unless it's very expensive hat? Yeah, Saturday, one place I went was a Savers, which is same as Value Village. It's owned by the same company. They are public companies, meaning they're on the stock market. They have stock. So their goal is to make money and nothing else. It's not about helping the needy or anything like that. It's about making a profit. So that's what they focus on. I would like to know where all their stuff goes after the fact, because there's a lot of crap in that store that does not sell. I want to know what they do with what the next step is after it's been sitting there for a while. But I went there Saturday. I didn't expect anything, especially on a Saturday. I think I got a blue Yoshi plush. I don't even know what the value was. I just grabbed it. I always grab anything Nintendo plush. It was $2.99. Grabbed that. And then I grabbed some 8x10 framed vintage not steam engines, but just train engine pictures rolling down tracks. So I grabbed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 8 of those for $2.99 a piece to hang in my hallway. And did I find anything else? I don't think so. I think that was it. But I didn't search that hard. I just kind of did a light search through there. Spam Banshee says, watching your nostril like it's a tiny mouth. Preach, nostril, preach. That's funny. All right. Let's get this stuff shipped out. First up, I got a Posh order. Bass Pro Shops visor, sold for $12. eBay branded boxes. I hope the whole pack's not like this. Fail. Okay. Come on, gun. Fail. Oh, man. So, yeah, I got out Saturday. And instead of just getting on a highway and driving, ended up going down the city, driving by all of our old spots, and started hitting stores. Whoops, what am I doing? Don't measure. They hit found by the pound. Found by the Pound is a company here in St. Louis who works with a rag house. And they're actually working in the same building as a rag house, but they're a separate company. And they get to go through some of the stuff before they turn them into rags, pull out the best pieces, give them the rest back. And I guess they buy them from them. So they have a store there. And then they have a more vintage store down on Grand Avenue where they put all their high dollar pieces. And then the pieces there are just your average pieces. I picked up a bunch of like Disney shirts and pink Victoria's Secret jackets. Just basic common stuff for $3 a pound there. And then they also buy pallets of, or Gaylords or whatever. I'm like, what do they call them? For this clothing. It's not Gaylords or pallets. It's bales, I guess. Is it bales? Anyway, but then they buy those too to go through them. And then I guess what they don't use goes to the rag house next door. So it's a nice little business to open, next to a rag house. So if you don't get to cherry pick the rag house, but they get to cherry pick the rag house doing that too. So good business. Good business. And then hit the Goodwill bins Saturday. So, all right, let's see. Did I forget anything? Probably I always do. Okay, that's international, I know. Where's the shipping labels? That's Germany. All right, first up we've got Braves hat. Sold for $5.99, headed to Niagara Falls, New York. And I definitely could tell something was up with eBay this weekend because not just the start and stop time back to being exact by a minute, on the minute, but usually on days where something seems off, I get a huge amount of very, very low ball offers from zero feedback, which is odd. And then also when I sell stuff, I sell many out of the same tote or whatever, as like the CDs I sold this morning all came from the same shelf. One shelf for the CDs, which is odd. And that was kind of a thing all weekend, so I noticed. Francis. So I'm not sure what goes into all that, but usually you can tell when something's not right. Next up, we got this Nautica hat. Sold for $10.50, headed to Brooklyn, New York. So this week, keep an eye out for I've started my campaign for my idea that I'm going to be selling, creating and selling. And the campaign's going to kind of grow. So what you're seeing now is just the first phase. Then the campaign's going to grow bigger, giving you more clues as to what it's going to be until the unveiling of what it is, which I haven't got them in yet. So I shall give you clues. Give you clues as to what it is and what I'm doing. I will say it's a limited run. And my goal is to sell out every month. So that's the goal. And I'm thinking about doing different things, like if for some reason it don't take off out the gate, that when the second month comes and I make a new one, I might just take the old ones down and maybe destroy them or something. So I'm contemplating a bunch of different things, so, to make it something that's turns into a collectible, if you will. Because what reseller doesn't like to buy collectibles, right? My main goal with this is to find the items I produce on eBay selling for more than what I'm selling them for. That's my goal. We got this cat beanie hat, sold for $10.50, headed to Chicago. Whoops. Didn't even hit that. 3. Next up, got one of my Hastings buyouts. Christelle CD, sold for $4.20, headed to Jacksonville, Florida. So that's that. Paragon. Next up, we got Hot Tracks. 11 through 6. Sold for $14, headed to Phoenix, Arizona. Yesterday I was taking pictures all day of the stuff I picked up this weekend and stuff that's been sitting around for the past couple of weeks that Jan had bought. So I got to finish that today. Get those all processed into drafts. I can start listing it all. Next up, we got this vintage Kentucky horse racing sweatshirt. That sold for $12.60, headed to Coon Rapids, Minnesota. Coon Rapids. These things are extra freaking sticky today. Oh, man. Well, you paid for priority, okay? That works. Right. You pay for priority, you get priority. I like this one. I mean, it's a good one. I'm going to take it, but it's 0 feedback. So I'm getting several 0 feedback offers. So that was the first offer since 2:30 in the morning. And we are at 9 a.m. now. Next up, Time Forward. Classical piece here. So for $8, headed to Buffalo, New York. Elena. Next up, I always grab these when I find them. Bank bags, money bags. This one only sold for $5.50. It's not a brand like a good, well-known bank. Headed to Warwick, Rhode Island. Headed to Atlantis Music Group. Huh. Wonder what they do. Next up, I've got, finally listed these. It was a plastic tote I picked up at my honey hole at the time, and it was a bunch of micro machines. So you got a lot of military micro machine figures and cars, planes, helicopters, 2 aircraft carriers, a couple of other little play set pieces. I think I paid like $5 or $6 for it. I don't know. Let's just say 5 to 8, somewhere in there. Sold for $70. Headed to Logansport, Indiana. So nice little find there. Finally got that listed. That's been sitting around for. That might have been picked up last summer. So 3, 0, 15, 11, 7. I've been trying to memorize these boxes. 15, 11, 7. Standard shipping. Nate. Next up, we've got this Barbie, like, home office piece. Missing, like, a lot of the pull downs and stuff. It opens up and spreads out also. Sold for $14, headed to Oxford, Mississippi. Grab this, hoping it'll fit in it. Perfecto Mundo. $15, $11, $7. $2.14. Melanie. Okay. That is all of those. Oh, I need to get some wake up juice in me or something, man. And a Dragonhod. I wouldn't mind going back to bed. But can't get no work done doing that, now can I? Melanie. Nate. Francis, Elena, Aaron, Job, Paragon Inc., Helen, Eddie, TNT song, Eddie, and Francis. And I got a couple of international items here. Print USPS gun. Generation. Clash. Generation. Clash. Boink. First up, we've got this Green Bay, or sorry, New York Jets. Revis jersey. Headed to Germany. Sold for $10. Just missed you. Hey, come on. Why are you so sticky today? $10. 9. And of course you want a code. And lastly, I got 2 lots of my toy things. Random toys. Going to Hungry. Ooh, this could get expensive. This could be a lot more than what I've charged for shipping. So I charge like, this should be about $35 shipping I charged. So 9 by 8 by 6. We're going 4, 3. Please don't be expensive. Please don't be expensive and make me lose money. They want detailed on toys, so I'm trying to make sure it's detailed. Quantity 1, 12.98, 4, 3, course, you want code too. Tag it. Tag damn it. I'll put toy cars. There's more cars in there probably than anything else. So I'll just put cars. I'm afraid. Hungry. Ah, $83. That's $50 over what I charged. Good Lord. That can't be the cheapest. UPS is only $82.51 compared to $83.84. Damn, that sucks. So I just lost, said 50, 20, $30. Bummer. How many of these things have I sold though, man? I've sold so many of these. This is the first time I had to do that. It's probably going to be down too far. I don't feel like searching for that. Oh, bummer. Oh well, it happens here and there. Thankfully, not very often. I guess that's what happens when you put two of them together. Maybe I should have tried them individually. That's probably what I should have done. Damn it, why didn't I think of that before I did that? Probably wouldn't have lost any if I would have done that. Damn it. Why didn't you remind me to try that? Oh well. So 18 international orders over the weekend. And we got 94, 104, 134, so 132 orders going out. A lot more items because I had several multi-order items. So 132 orders. So order counts up. Money not so much this weekend. So we'll keep an eye on that, see if it gets better today. Hopefully. But then again, it's been pretty damn slow, hasn't it? Where am I at right now? So I was at $83. We are at $9.20 right now, and I'm still at $83. So nothing sold during the video. Except that one offer I took. So it is Monday. Usually starts out a little slower Mondays anyway. And it was shut down last night. So, all right. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I will see you all in the next video. Later.